Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being the name of his only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, when you look at the description of Esau, it says a lot, and it's really so simple that people look over it. And it's a deep subject because when you go into microbiology, and you can go into any of these universities the that's in America, especially, they have books and research that's been done, and it shows you that it's only two types of skin, two skin types. You see, it's only two variations of skin types. See, you have skin that has no defects and no problems and no genetical uh, issues, that has pigment that protects you from the skin, that's uh, uh, vital material for healthy skin. And then you have skin that doesn't have a melanin in it. Now, when a baby is born, it's covered with melanin. See, they sell melanin. It's worth more than gold. See, plants, melanin is on the plants to protect the plants. It's like a liver. It's the filter for the skin. It's a filter that keeps and protects the skin. You see, so you have two types of skin. You have skin with melanin, and you have skin without melanin. And that skin is classified as either leprosy, or they call it Verilago or something like that, what Michael Jackson had when you was born with dark skin or skin that had melanin, and then the melanin start to deplete or not reproduce in your body, and your body start to become melanin deficient, because our bodies is rebuilding, our cells is rebuilding itself every day, all the time. See, our cells die and they rebuild, they multiply, and so you have dead skin. See, that's the reason you have dead skin, because the skin is reproducing. You can cut yourself. You can cut the skin, and the skin is going to rebuild. The cells is going to multiply and create a boundary, which they're going to call a scab. And let's go into that. Because when the baby came out, when Esau came out, the high priest had to make a proclamation. Let's go into that. Okay, look at what it says. Leviticus 13:13, it say, "Then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that have the plague. It is all turned white." You see, this is why they call them so-called white people. he is clean. So when the skin is not brown and it don't have pigment in it, he's going to come out with this defect in the skin, and he's going to be seen as white compared to when you have dark melanin, a dark brown complexion. You're going to come out white from head to toe. And your mother and your father had dark pigment, and you come out totally different. You have a plague. You have leprosy. See? But it's from head to toe, and you have clean leprosy. It's not a disease where you have to keep doing things for, because look at verse 14 and say, but when raw flesh appear in him, he shall be unclean. So your skin is intact. You just lost the melanin. See, it wasn't so bad that you didn't have skin. Your skin wasn't completed. Your skin was completed, but the melanin was depleted. You see how that goes together? Your skin was completed, but your melanin was depleted. It was not there, even though your skin was all connected. So this is how he came out. Now let's get that, because I want to make this a quick hitter quitter. Genesis 25 and 23. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And one people shall be stronger than the other people. That's the Israelites would be stronger than the Edomites. And the elder shall serve the younger. The Edomites is going to have to go into slavery under the Israelites. Verse 25, it say, and the first came out red. Now, let's go back to Leviticus real quick, because see, we want this thing to add all the way up. Now it says came out red. Now look at the situation. When the child come out, it's gonna say compared to the brown is white. That's why they comfortable with calling these people white. But look at what verse 19 said, and in the place of the boil there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white or somewhat reddish. You see, that white is just not just plain white, or they just totally none, ain't nothing but white on the scene. No, that white goes into a white and a somewhat reddish. And this is in English, so there ain't no telling what the Hebrew had to say. And I'm not going to go into it, but this is what they pulled out of the Hebrew. You see, it could have indicated that this thing is reddish, it's red, but we going to give it a white. We going to say it's white, but we know it's red. You see, this is what Esau had. And nobody on the planet Earth is white. It's only two skin conditions. And the one skin condition, you don't see the pigment. The pigment is gone, so now you can see the red blood flowing through their body. That's why I say the first came out red as a baby. You can see all the blood. And it say red all over like a hairy garment. It had nothing to do with being hairy. It said he was red all over like a hairy garment. See? And they called his name Esau. And his name represented the significance of how he was born. He came out red. He was the first. Probably wasn't the first, but he was a child from two parents that had pigment in their skin. See, his parents did not have leprosy. His parents didn't have that problem, but he came out with that problem. And look at what they're not even going to mention Jacob, the complexion, 26. And after that came his brother out. See, there no description of his brother. No description of his brother, but he had a major description that he came out red, and he was red all over from head to toe, just like the priest say when the person have leprosy. That's what the like a hairy garment was going into. He was from head to toe. And then that name is gonna be a omen, meaning he don't have pigment. His pigment is consumed. Because when you go into that Esau, it's talking about consumption. His pigment is being consumed, has been consumed or depleted. It's not complete. And this is how we know that these peoples are the so-called white men. Not only is that they calling themselves white, just like the high priest say, white or reddish. It's only two complexions. And then when you go into 27 and 40, it says, and by thy sword thou shalt live and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, the rulership. Who has the rulership over the earth? The Edomites have the rulership over the earth. When you go into Revelation 6 and 4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power. See, that power goes into kingdom and rulership. And power was given to him. See, that's what was given to Esau. He was given dominion. That's why we have dominion over the animals. We have power over the animal. And given dominion to him that sat upon it to take peace from the earth. He given dominion over the whole earth to take peace from it. And that they shall kill one another. World War I, World War II, America being in war 93% of the time. Google it, look it up. And it says, and there was given unto him a great sword. Only person in the Bible that was given a sword, that was going to live by the sword, was Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And when you go into Daniel, the fourth kingdom is clearly America. That's why when you go down in verse 7 and say, in the fourth seal I heard the fourth beast say. See, the fourth beast is what John the Revelator is referring to. That fourth kingdom that's in Daniel the 7th chapter. You see? And so this is what these Edomites, they ain't finna tell you. Then we go into Revelation 12 and 3. Let's get it. It says, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. You see, that red was talking about these Edomites, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. That 7 heads and 10 horns is talking about the kingdoms that the Edomites possess, that the Edomites use to rule the world, to have dominion. The European Union, NATO, Russia. See, this is how these red dragons is ruling. Okay. Let's get what the Most High said to Moses, talking about the Esau, Edom. Verse 16, it say, for he says, because the Lord have sworn that he will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. That red dragon is the one that the Lord is having war with. That's who he's having a war in heaven. And that heaven is talking about the sky. It's not talking about up there where he at, about his throne. It's talking about the sky. See, that heaven is where the war is going to go down. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.